We are back. We got Movie Monday, Who's on Fire, and some best bets. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back into another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and we are back, baby. That's right. It is Monday. We got a new week ahead of us. Let's get after it this week. We had a small losing week, unfortunately, or weekend last weekend. We'll get after why. It was literally because of one closer, but we'll go over that. It is Movie Monday today. I'm going to give you some underrated football movies. That's what we're going with today. That's right. So leave a comment below with the most underrated football movie. I actually have two for you. But real quick, around the league, Freddie Freeman, 2000th hit. That's right. That's pretty impressive. George Springer broke the record for most leadoff home runs, even though he's not really a leadoff hitter. He's kind of a power hitter. But and that Reds Braves series, holy cow! Were you able to watch some of that? That was absolutely just on fire. That was a lot of fun. The Reds are a fun team to watch, that's for sure. Anyways, before we get into everything, like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate you guys. We are over 4,000 and now on the path to 5,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. It's just absolutely insane. So thank you guys for the support. Movie Monday. Two underrated football movies. That's right. I cheated. I couldn't give you guys one. First one, Invincible. I don't know if that's considered underrated or if that's legit, but I'm going to put it in there. That true story about Vince Papale. It shows you a little bit about Philadelphia NFL football. It's pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, Mark Wahlberg, it's awesome. You got to see it. Good underdog story. So, and the next one, it's a little different type of movie. The Replacements. That movie is freaking funny. Keanu Reeves is Shane Falco in The Replacements. Gene Hackman's the head coach. And then you got the kicker, and he's just absolutely hilarious. But if you want to watch a good comedy football movie, that's a good movie too. So those are my two underrated movies. Let me know your guys's. And every time you guys do this, you name some movie I've never heard of. So maybe we'll get more of that. But yeah, I like doing Movie Monday. It's a lot of fun. Just kind of breaks it up a little bit. So in this video, we got good hitter matchups. We got good pitcher strikeout matchups. We got Who's on Fire, the big one. The last 15 days of Who's on Fire to help you guys out this week with your hitter props. And then I got two MLB best bets. We only got 6 games on Monday, but it doesn't mean we can't find value and get some winners. So here we go. We're off and rolling. Let's start out with that bets recap page. There it is. Guys, 1-1 on our bets on Friday, okay? Here's the problem. The Friday parlay. We hit 2 of the 3 legs. If you were following along with this, the only leg we didn't hit was the Marlins money line. They were up 1-0 in the ninth. And AJ, and I think you pronounce it puck, but in the case of this, I'm going to pronounce it puke because that's what he literally made me do. He freaking cost us a 313 winner. I think he gave up 3 runs in the top of the ninth to that crappy Pirates offense, and we blew it. And just like that, 3 outs away from having a 4 unit swing, over a 4 unit swing on the weekend. He blows the ninth inning save, and now we're down for the weekend. That's literally how close it's been almost every weekend, it seems like. So, you can look at this and bash me all you want, but that's how close we are to getting over it. So we'll get over the hump. Saturday was not pretty. We had a push on the team total, and we had 2 losses. I don't even talk about it. It's just pathetic. And then Sunday, gave out a bet on Premium Discord, and that was another team total that we won. We are now, I believe, 9-2 in our last 11 team totals. Sorry, 9-2-3 in our last 15, if you count the 3 pushes too. But 9-2 is pretty impressive. Team totals has been the one thing I've been able to get a good read on, I guess, this year, and we'll get after that. I don't have a team total yet. I may add one tomorrow, but not yet for today. So that's where we're at. Let's get after it. It is Monday, and let's start out with those good hitter matchups. All right, we got 3 good hitter matchups. That's right, just 3, guys. It's ugly today, but here we go. First one, Colton Wong of the Mariners, 8 for 21, 1 home run versus Trevor Williams, but it may be the only pitcher he can hit off of, to be honest. So I wouldn't go searching for Colton Wong hitter props because he's hitting 164 this season. One of the many reasons why my Mariners suck right now. Second one, Mitch Garver of the Texas Rangers, 5 for 15 with 2 home runs versus Matthew Boyd. Mitch Garver doesn't play every single day, so I would make sure to check if he's in the lineup if you do want to use him. Again, this isn't something I would jump to do either. And the last one, another not a huge name kind of guy, Robbie Grossman of the Rangers, 8 for 29, 2 home runs versus Matthew Boyd. He's hitting 276 on the year. Here's the crazy part about Robbie Grossman. He has 10 walks versus Matthew Boyd. That's right, 10 walks. That's insane. That doesn't really help you on total bases, obviously, but just letting you know. Grossman's hitting 227 this year. So, kind of like his name, this was a gross list. That's right. Colton Wong, Mitch Garver, Robbie Grossman. That's all I got for you. 6 games. This is what you get. So let's move on to the good pitcher strikeout matchups. All right, this list is a little bit better. We got 3 good pitcher matchups for you, and I think they're really good. So here we go. First one, Spencer Strider, the man, versus the Twins. As good of a matchup as it gets, guys. We're talking the highest strikeout guy in Strider versus the highest strikeout team in the Twins. Twins, highest K percentage versus righties in June at 29.9%. Strider, 136 Ks and 84.2 innings. He has 8 plus strikeouts in 7 of his 10 starts. And in his 4 home games this year, Strider, 8, 9, 10, and 11 strikeouts. So that's 38 Ks in 21 innings. Pretty impressive. Justin Verlander versus the Brewers is the second one. Brewers' second highest K percentage versus righties in the month of June at 28%. So not very good either. Verlander, though, hasn't been the same Verlander we're used to seeing, the Cy Young guy when it comes to strikeouts. He has 44 Ks in 52 innings. He's kind of hit and miss with his K percentage each game, too. Like, here's the last 5 games: 8%, 32%, 15%, 30%, 17.2. It's one bad, one good, one bad, one good. If you follow the trend, he's due for a good game this game. So we'll see. But he's playing the Brewers. Third and final one, a guy we're going to talk about later. Reed Detmers versus the White Sox. White Sox have the sixth highest K percentage versus lefties in the month of June. That's 27.7%. Detmers, 84 Ks in 69.1 innings. And I'll just say this part right now about him. He has 8 strikeouts exactly in 3 straight games. So that's a good one. I like all 3 of them. We'll see where Strider's line is at. I'm guessing it'll start probably like 9.5 or something like that. So it's a possibility against that Twins team. So there you go. Those are the 3 best pitcher strikeout matchup. Now get those s'mores ready, baby. It's time for Who's on Fire. All right, let's go. We got 2 pages of who's on fire today. These are hitters that are on fire in the last 15 days, 42 minimum at bats and a 340 average or higher. We have 2 guys that may never leave this list this year. I'm going to be honest with you. We got Corey Seager and Shohei Ohtani. As you can see by the yellow highlighted, they are leading in those categories. Corey Seager with a 414 average. Somehow, someone has a higher average than Luis Arias for the first time. Shohei with 8 bombs, and then they both tied for 16 ribbies. That is just impressive. Another guy that kind of gets unheard of or not talked about a little bit is Christian Walker. He's on here a lot too. If you see him at the top of this list, 367, 3 bombs, and 15 ribbies right behind him. So he is rolling just like that D-backs offense is. You got some guys that are kind of unexpected with Brandon Drury, Justin Turner, a couple Cleveland guys that don't have a lot of power, and then Santander. I realized I should stop putting him on my bench because he's actually been hitting bombs and hitting pretty well. So that's page 1. Let's move over to page 2. There we go. A little lesser named players in this one and a little less power. But Ellie Deli's still staying strong there after hitting for the cycle this weekend. I forgot to mention that. Holy cow. Jake McCarthy, I think a bottom of the order guy for Arizona. A new guy, Kerry Carpenter. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know a lot about Kerry Carpenter, but when I saw his name, I was like, that's pretty impressive for a guy I don't know much about. So Bryson Stott's been on here, I think, a couple times. So we got a lot of hitters. Michael Harris, the 9 hitter, player of the week for the Braves. Yeah, we got a lot of good hitters right now, guys. I could, if I lowered this to 330, 320, you'd get more, but I got to cut it off at some point. So hopefully those 2 help you this week for player props or anything else. Take a screenshot of both pages, whatever you got to do. That's what we got today for Who's on Fire, and now it's time for the best bets. Game number 1 takes us out to LA. We got the White Sox at the Angels. Angels money line minus 135. White Sox money line plus 115 with an over under of 8.5 runs. All right, we got to get creative. We got a little same game parlay. Reed Detmer, 6 plus strikeouts and the under 6.5 runs in the first 5 innings. That's right, first 5, not the total game. It's an alternate line. You put these 2 together, you get plus 107. Let's start out with Mr. Reed Detmers. We already know he's got a good matchup, like I mentioned. The White Sox strike out at a 27.7% clip in the month of June versus lefties, which is 6th highest in the league. Detmers is something different right now, guys. I faded him earlier this year. He's a top prospect that people have been waiting to turn the corner. He may have just turned the corner. We'll see. It's only been 3 games, but last 3 games, 8 Ks, 1 earned run versus the Cubs, 8 Ks, 1 earned run versus the Rangers, and 8 Ks, 0 earned runs versus the Dodgers. Guys, that's as elite as it gets. Also, in the total of those 18.2 innings, he's given up only 10 hits. That's right. So I started looking into why he might be getting better. I don't know what the deal is. Apparently, he's tinkered with his slider, which is already a pretty good pitch, and apparently, right now, it is a wipeout pitch. He's changed speeds on it, so now he's got a slower slider, a really hard, fast slider. It goes down and in into the righties. Whatever it is working because he is absolutely dominating. He's dominating two good offenses too in that one. Cubs are okay, but Rangers and Dodgers can hit obviously. So you know what? All we need is 6 Ks. He's got an 8, 8, and 8 the last 3 games, and now he's got an even better matchup than those three. I like him to get 6+ Ks as the first leg of the parlay. Second one, under 6.5 the first 5 innings. Guys, the real line is like 4, 4.5. I mean, this is a throw in to get the odds down because 6+ Ks I saw was at like minus 160 or something on its own. So here we go. Reed Detmers, I already told you, he's on a roll. He's just been a stud the last 3 games. We're gonna ride the hot hand at home, and then he's going up against Dylan Cease. We know he was a stud last year, and he's starting to pick it up a little bit this year. His K percentage is going way up. In the last 5 starts, he has a 30 to 43% K rate in all 5 of those games. So in between 30 and 43%. Before the in the previous 4 games, he had below 25% K rate in all 4 of those starts. So he is obviously getting some more swings and misses. He's pitching a lot better. He's given up 2 earned runs or less in each of the last 4 games. So him and Detmers, if they just pitch like they've been pitching, this won't even come close to 6.5. Again, this is a throw in. You want to go 5.5, be a little more risky at 4.5, anything like that, whatever you want to do. I'm going 6.5, making this a nice plus 107 parlay. I love it, love it, love it. So that's bet number one. Let's move on to bet number two. Game number two takes us out to the ATL. We got the Minnesota Twinkies at the Atlanta Braves. Braves money line minus 205. Twins money line plus 175. Over under of 8.5 runs. Now, we have a money line parlay. So this is only going to be the first leg of the money line parlay. You probably already know where I'm going. It is the Braves money line. That's right. Here we go. Sonny Gray versus Spencer Strider. A pretty dang good matchup, to be honest with you. But Sonny Gray has been struggling. He has a almost 4 ERA in June, which for him is not good. He's been struggling a little bit more. He lost his control. In the last 14 innings, he has 8 walks, which is never a good sign. He does have a 2.56 ERA on the year with a 3.30 expected ERA. He is still a solid pitcher. I'm not sitting here saying he's terrible, but he's just in bad form. When you're in bad form going against this Braves offense, guys, I looked up all the advanced analytics in the month of June. They're just number one in everything. They're just everything. WRC plus, OPS, ISO. They're just crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. It's not fair. It's literally like an all-star team. I mentioned last week their 7, 8, 9 hitters are legit. Eddie Rosario, Orlando Arcia, Michael Harris. Like Michael Harris just won Player of the Week as a 9 hitter, which I don't know if that's ever happened. I'm sure it has. Eddie Rosario had like 8 home runs in the last 30 days, and Orlando Arcia has just been crushing it. You saw him on Who's on Fire list last week. So, I mean, that's just the bottom of the order. This team is just freaking loaded. So, we know they can get to Sonny Gray. That won't be a problem. Spencer Strider, he had some bad games. I know it. We talked about it last week. He was roughed up a little bit for a few games. He lost his control, but it was nice to see a great bounce back game from him versus the Phillies. He had 9 Ks and 1 earned run given up to those Phillies, and he walked 0, which is the big thing to see. I like to see guys, have they lost their control? Because if so, not only do you walk more guys, it means you might also leave some pitches across the plate and get hit more. So he had 0 walks last game after having 8 walks in the previous 3 games when he struggled. It wasn't a coincidence. He struggled while walking more guys. So he should overpower this team. This Minnesota Twins offense is not very good. And by the way, Byron Buxton might be out. He sat out yesterday also for back spasms. So if he's out, this lineup's even worse. They are the bottom half of the league in almost every hitting metric that you see versus righties in June. So they struggle. They rely on just hitting a bomb or nothing pretty much. So I think he can shut them down. Sonny Gray, he might put up a decent outing, but a decent outing versus the Braves, you're still getting up 3, 4 runs probably. And then you go to the bullpen. I mean, the Twins bullpen is just awful, guys. It's absolutely awful. So that's why I want the full game. I think the Braves can score a ton of runs off that bullpen too, and Sonny Gray gets taken out. So first leg of the parlay. I know I talked a lot about an obvious bet, the Braves, but Braves money line, first leg. Now let's go check out the final leg of this parlay. All right, the final game takes us out to Seattle with my Mariners. We got the Nationals coming into town. Mariners money line minus 260. Nationals money line plus 220 with an over under of 8 runs. The final leg of this parlay, guys. God help me, I'm backing my team. Mariners money line. You put the Braves and the Mariners money line together, you get plus 108. Let's dive into this matchup. We got Trevor Williams on the mound for the Nats. He has a 4.42 ERA on the road and a 1.45 whip on the road. He's given up 14 home runs this year, which is not very good, and he also does not strike out a lot of guys. 17.6% K rate. He's to me, he's an average major leaguer. Who doesn't miss a lot of bats. He's average, so slightly below average. Mariners offense, I'm not gonna lie, it hasn't been great. It just hasn't been that great. It's been better than the Nationals, but they have some power. Cal Raleigh, you got Julio, Kelnick. They got some power compared to this Nationals team who has absolutely zero power. But let's get into why I really love this. We got Luis Castillo on the mound for the Mariners. He is in the 90th percentile, giving up only 6.7 hits per 9 innings. I mean, that's impressive. Here's where he struggled the last 2 games. It's with walks. He has 4 walks and 6 walks. That is absolutely ridiculous that he walked that many guys. He only has 11 walks total in the other 8 games. That's right. In 8 games, he walked 11 guys. In the last 2, he's walked 10. Now, in the last 2 games, when he's walked 10, he still only gave up 3 earned runs and 2 earned runs because he doesn't give up a lot of hits. So it is hard to get on base on Castillo if he's not walking a bunch of guys. I think he's going to figure it out. He's back home. He has a very high 28.2% K rate. We all know Castillo is a stud. Even with those walks last 2 games, he's got an ERA under 3 still. Now we're talking Nats offense. They are bottom 10 in the league in pretty much everything. I mean, they lack power, guys. WRC plus, OPS, ISO. They were like top 10, top 12 in batting average, but that's all they can do. It's just slap some hits with not a lot of power. So I just think this is an overpowering starting pitcher advantage, to be honest. Luis Castillo should overpower this lineup. It's only going to take probably a few runs for the Mariners. And then you go to the bullpen. Holy crap. If you saw our bullpen numbers last week when we showed that, Mariners were in the top 5 in the Sierra numbers, which kind of helps you expect the ERA or predict it in the future. And the Nationals were bottom 5. I mean, we're talking top 5, top 10 versus bottom 5 bullpen. So it's a big advantage on the bump, a big advantage in the bullpen, and a slight advantage in the lineup. I like the Mariners to win at home. We need some freaking wins, that's for sure. So Braves money line, Mariners money line, put it together. Plus 108 is our second bet of the night. Let's go to that bets recap page. There we go. Same game parlay. Reed Detmer, 6+ Ks and under 6.5 in the first 5 innings. Plus 107 on FanDuel, just so you know. Second bet, Braves and Mariners money line parlay. Plus 108 on DraftKings. That's it. I almost added the Reds team total. There's a chance I still add it tomorrow in the Discord. I'm back and forth on it. It's at like 4.5 right now. But there could be a letdown after that Braves series. We'll see. But I just want to let you guys know the Reds team total is a thought of mine right now. That's probably the only team total I really like to maybe add for best bet. So that's where we're at. Leave a comment with your best bet for today. Leave a comment with your Movie Monday underrated football movie. That's right. Thank you guys for the support. Let's have another good week. We'll talk to you guys later.